Welcome to our What's New for SOLIDWORKS 2026 series. Over the next few minutes, I'll take you through some of the updates for performance, user experience and import-export. The assembly we are looking at is called the transport station. It allows users to control various elements of the Vernier directional drill while outside of the cab. Before I start modifying this, I have a large step file I need to import, but that can be time consuming and it will lock up SOLIDWORKS as it's being processed. But in SOLIDWORKS 2026 I can use the new import model as a background process task pane. By clicking the plus sign, I can navigate to a step file or any other neutral CAD file and set it to process in the background. I can even import multiple files in one go and they'll be listed here in the queue. I can now continue to use SOLIDWORKS as usual as this big step file imports away in the background. Okay, back to the transport station. I might want to change the colour of these joystick sub-assemblies to the same red colour as these switches. I'll start by copying the appearance. Next, I'll hit F5 on the keyboard to open selection filters. Here you can see there is a new filter components option. This will allow me to click in the graphics area and select the entire top level subassembly or top level components. I'll control and click the joysticks and paste the appearance to both subassemblies. In the past, I would either have to find the subassembly in the Feature Manager design tree or use the D key to drill down to what I want using breadcrumbs. Tapping F6 on the keyboard will keep the selection filters toolbar present but turn all filters off. I'll now left click the forward facing loudspeaker and open it using the context sensitive toolbar. With the selection filter toolbar still open, I'll select the new option to filter features while working on a part. This will let me click anywhere on the model and faces that a part of the originating feature will highlight. It's a great tool for when you need to edit a part with a very complex design tree or you find yourself working on a design you aren't familiar with. For instance, if I select this fillet, all of the fillets that were created with that originating fillet feature will highlight, as well as the associated feature in the tree. I now want to widen the speaker opening, so clicking the side wall of the speaker will show me which feature is associated to this face and show the connected dimensions as well. Tapping F6, I'll toggle off the selection filter and now I can double click the dimension driving the speaker opening and widen it a little. Pressing Ctrl Tab will take us back to the transport station assembly. Now pressing F5 will hide the selection filter toolbar. Opening this door will reveal the remote control unit. Let's open it and I can see that there is some imported geometry associated with this part. As with all imported geometry, we may want to interrogate it a little bit to make sure that it is modelled efficiently, so I'll open Performance Evaluation to check it out. I can see that there's nearly 1 million graphical triangles in this part and almost 13,000 faces, so there must be some complex geometry inside the enclosure, like modelled threads on hardware or detailed electronic components. Generally we don't need that level of detail on imported parts, so I can use the new Select Bodies by Size option. By sliding the slider, I can progressively select bodies by size, showing that there's lots of small components inside the enclosure. I'll settle at 5% and select Parent Feature and OK. Turning on Select Parent Feature will move the selection highlight from the graphics area to the Feature Manager design tree. Now I just need to hit the delete key and yes to all and those bodies will be deleted. Next I'll press Tab to hide the enclosure and check if there are any parts that we missed by the previous step. I can see that the 8 large screws that mount the joystick have modelled threads, but they were too big to be selected in the previous command. Let's use the new Select Bodies by Volume feature to quickly select these bodies. Hitting the spacebar will let me choose a view normal to the front plane. Similar to this functionality previously available in assemblies, I'll simply sketch a rectangle in the graphics area and create a volume. Using the arrows, I can enlarge the volume to capture the 8 screws and 2 additional electronic components near the data interface. I'll click Select Parent Feature and then OK. With the parts selected in the design tree, simply pressing the Delete key on the keyboard will remove those bodies from the part. Hovering over the location of the enclosure and pressing Shift Tab, I can unhide the enclosure. Let's have a look at the effects of deleting those bodies. Opening Performance Evaluation again, I can see that I've reduced the graphical triangles by over 75% and the face count by over 60%. Just returning back to how I started, remember that huge step file that I set to import in the background? Let's check on the progress of that. It appears that the import has completed and took around 2 minutes to finish. Clicking Open File, I can open it and check out what was processed in the background while I was completing other tasks. A real time saver. SOLIDWORKS Design 2026 enables you to work faster with the ability to open imported files as a background process, an improved Select Features or Components filter, a new option for selecting large numbers of bodies. There is also a new icon indicating whether system messages have been dismissed, and the graphics rebuild time has been accelerated for complex features. Please join us in our next video for what's new in collaboration for SOLIDWORKS 2026.